Hi there, thanks for watching my video. So I decided to build a little cottage in the woods. Obviously got quite a bit of spare time at the minute, so I've been watching an awful lot of YouTube. And this was actually inspired by a video that I saw. It was one of Plumbella's videos actually. I watched her Snow White Let's Play. Oh, that's right, I went back. And she built a cottage that was so cute, like I fell in love with it. So I basically decided to make my own rip-off version. I decided to make an Aldione out of a Morrison's pack. So there we go. I hope you like it. But anyway, how are we all doing? How are we all coping with being at home and stuff? Having fun? I've been living my best life on Skype. Me and my friends had a pub quiz the other day on Skype. 25 people on Skype. It was fucking carnage. Couldn't hear a word anyone was saying. It was really difficult. But the good thing with Skype, if you haven't figured this out, is that if you're on a Skype call, you actually have the power to mute people and kick people out. So I was just sort of going around muting people every time I wanted to say something, and that way they had to listen. So yeah, it was alright. I do miss being able to go out and about though. My husband and I had tickets to go to a soccer match, and obviously we can't go now, which is fine, you know, safety comes first. But I've only actually been to a soccer/football match twice in my life. The first time was when I was 9. My granddad took me as some kind of bonding experience. But the thing is, my grandparents have so many grandchildren now, but at the time it was only me and my brother. We were like the only grandchildren for like 12 years. So my granddad would like do things with my brother a lot, but he didn't really know what to do with kids, or you know, what to do with them. So it didn't really occur to him that taking a 9-year-old girl to the local football stadium to watch football wasn't really something I was into. I was never into sports when I was a kid. And bless him, he just had no clue. I remember he took me there and his mates were there, and we were just sort of standing like at the indoor arena bit, and he said to me, I'm just going to go get a beer. And I said, okay. And he said, so do you want one, or and I was like, yeah, okay. And he got me a beer. I was telling my husband that story about the first time I went to a football match and I had a beer with my granddad, and he said, well, didn't any of his mates say anything? And I said no, because at the time he was a 40-year-old clueless man on a day trip with other 40-year-old clueless men. They were all the same. They were all like, well, there's nothing wrong here. Yeah, if the kids turn up, give her a beer. Do you know what I mean? There was absolutely no question asked about it. So that was the first time I went to a sports event. The second time was about 2 weeks ago. Actually, by the time I post, maybe the second time was about a month ago. It was at a stadium local to me, so it was in Texas, and because I don't go to sporting events or anything, I didn't really know what the etiquette was. But we got there, and the lady that was taking our tickets, she literally looked at me and she said, you can't bring your bag in, it's too big. And I was like, what, really? Because it wasn't like a big stadium or anything, and I was really surprised. In fact, so surprised, guys, that I've taken a tape measure out and I've measured my bag. It's 11 inches across, 9 inches down. That's not a big bag. That's why I was so shocked. It's not a big handbag. But anyway, so she tells me, your handbag is too big. And so I said, oh no. And she just stared at me blankly. We were like an hour away from home. We'd bought tickets. So I was like, well, can I do anything about this? And she said, get rid of the handbag. And I was like, oh, but, well, I kind of need the handbag, you know, because it's got everything in. I was even almost prepared to throw my handbag away had it not been for the fact that it did have things in them that I couldn't carry in my pockets. So I was like, well, I can't throw my glasses away, I can't throw my passport away, do you know what I mean? So I was like, is there nothing we can do? And she was like, no. I was like, fucking brilliant. So then we went to the ticket office and we were like, please can we do something, because we've come all this way. And they said, oh yeah, it's fine, we just need to you just need to leave your bag in customer service. And I was like, oh, well, that first lady was fucking helpful, wasn't she? Anyway, we went to the front gate and spoke to someone else and said, is it okay if we leave the bag in customer service? And the guy was on the radio and he was like, yeah, that's fine, but you need to be escorted to customer service. I will also point out at this point that my handbag still had not been checked at all. So we're like waiting at the gate for someone to escort us to customer service to drop my handbag. And then a man came up to me and he said, I'm here to escort you to customer service. I said, okay, fantastic. And he said, oh no, I'm sorry, I have to carry the bag. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, it really brought out his eyes anyway, so I didn't mind. And then we got to customer service. It was handed to the lady at customer service and she gave me a little tag. And it was, you know, don't get me wrong, apart from the lady at the front being extremely unhelpful, basically saying, you're fucked, you're going to miss out on your match kind of thing, they were really nice and really friendly. So I'm not going to mock what they did at all, because, you know, security is security. It's all about everyone's safety at the end of the day. But what I do find funny is that it was such a big deal that I had to be escorted there and I couldn't hold the bag. Someone else had to hold the bag and no one checked it. Like, no one looked inside the bag. That was what made me laugh, because I thought, no one's asked to see inside of it. So is it just this... I was so confused as to the reason why. And then my husband said maybe it was something to do with they didn't want you having a bag of that size in the seats in case people tripped on it. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but I didn't get it, but it did make me laugh. But do you know what? It was totally worth it, because it was $1 a beer in this arena. We got fucked. It was one of the best days, honestly, of my life. The sun was shining. We were watching football, or soccer as Americans call it. We had $1 beers. The nachos were $3. Oh, it was one of the best days ever, and it's going to be one of the first things I do when this quarantine is over. But anyway, I should probably talk about the build a little bit. It's quite countryside-y, quite rustic. I can't pretend to take credit for it, as I say. Like, I did put my own spin on it, and it's not, you know, an exact replica of the one Plumbella built by any means, but yeah, it's my version of that kind of build. Plumbella did this build as like Snow White's house, which I love because Snow White is one of my favourite Disney princesses. I'm always torn between her and Ariel, but I can't really relate to Snow White. She is a lot tidier than I am, although I am, you know, more into cleaning now than I ever have done when I was younger. It's quite a transition for me to be someone who actually enjoys cleaning now. But yeah, it's very different from who I used to be. You are listening to someone who just last year had their Christmas tree still up in April. I took the actual decorations off though. I'm not a psychopath, just a lazy bitch who has to do everything half-assed. Honestly, it got to the point where we decorated the tree again with empty beer cans, and by the time April came along, I thought enough is enough. Well, actually no, that's a lie. I didn't think enough was enough. It was just that we had parents visiting and I didn't want them to judge us as a couple or, you know, me as a girlfriend, because people are still sexist nowadays, and if the house is untidy, it for some reason reflects worse on me than it does my husband, which I'll never understand, but it's just one of those things in life, ain't it? So, yeah. Anyway, we're getting towards the end of the video now, so I should probably start wrapping this up. So I'll just say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.